How you doing? Thanks for listening to another week of our YouTube video. Thanks everyone for all your support. Please, if you're first time listening as well, subscribe to our channel. And I appreciate you're going to get some good, solid advice and straight up business advice on every subject. Today we're going to talk about something interesting. And today is failure, right? And when to call it quits, right? Some might be like, huh? I thought we were talking about business, right? Well, I want to let you guys know also that we all fail, right? We're not all success. You don't have success the right time. Sometimes people get lucky and bam, they have a successful restaurant, a successful business. And we talked before about planning, right? Now let's say if you already tried these things and you've been in the business for 1, 2, 3 years, right? So generally, even in tax law, like the IRS permits you to have a loss for 3 years. And some might think, well, why 3 years? Well, it's proven that a lot of startups that people don't start up with maybe a proper plan, proper funding. 1 out of 5 startups after the first year close, right? And then after 3 years, proven that startups, 60% of those startups fail, right? So someone might be like, wow, this isn't too motivational. You're talking about failure, right? I'm supposed to be successful. Well, I'm gonna let you know that some successful people have failed, you know. Walt Disney was told that he didn't have a creative imagination, went on to create, Walt Disney, Imagine That Without Your Life. Albert Einstein was told he wasn't intelligent. Abraham Lincoln, so many different people that failed so many different times. I was reading a story about Dyson, the one who created Dyson vacuum cleaner. 15 years he was going through trying to get his prototypes. Now the business is worth over $4.5 billion. It took him 15 years to come up with the vision and idea that he wanted. So what I want to let you know is sometimes if you did start a business venture and you find that I had this idea and I got this restaurant and year 1 goes by and losing money, year 2 goes by and losing money, years 3 goes by and losing money. Pride is a very serious thing, right? Sometimes they say, Robert comes for the fall. So sometimes you got to sit back and look and say, you know what? Is this what I want? Is this the vision I envisioned, right? Is this the vision that I envisioned, that I saw happen, that I saw coming through temptation? No, I wanted to make money, right? I didn't make money in year 1, I didn't make it in 2, I didn't make it in 3. Okay, what makes you think you're going to make it in 4 and 5? So sometimes in business, you have to actually sit back and look and say, you know what? This business isn't producing. Let me dissolve this, let me sell it, let me get rid of it, and then let me focus on what's making money or another idea. And sometimes our pride doesn't let us do that because we want to hold on to that and say, no, I'm not going to quit. And I've met a lot of people throughout the years with the same mindset, like, no, I'm not going to give up. I got the money to do it. So let's say they have 5 different businesses, right? And then you have 2 making money, 3 losing money. And just to be like, hey, I have 5 businesses and I'm like a cool guy, you want to lose money. So you're making money from 2 and then you're supporting 5, right? Support, 3 other ones losing money. Like, think about it. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't matter the amount of businesses and things that you have. If they're not producing money, I could have 100 bank accounts with $1 on each one. I have $100. So the point is to be productive, to try to make money. But the point is also to understand that very successful people, way more than me and you, have failed multiple times. We only learn and get better from failing. So let's say we had a plan. We put it to work. Year 1, year 2, year 3, we didn't make money. We got to sit back and analyze them and say, got 2 things you can do. What can I do to make this better? Can I make it better? Right? Is it possible? Or do I rethink what I'm doing? I met somebody one time who was working on an app, probably for like 5 years, dumped on a yearly average about $250,000 into the project. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh no, it's gonna come together, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that, and who am I, right, to say like, hey, give up, I believe in anything's possible, right? But what I'm saying is people listening in, you have to be realistic, okay? And we have to realize that number 1, we do fail, right? And it's for multiple reasons, right? Sometimes we want to blame other people, but then we have to look and blame ourselves. So if it isn't producing, like I said, you have to really just step back and sit back and think like, if it's a restaurant, okay, is this life I want? I'm working 24/7, killing myself, doing this, doing that. I'm not making any money when I can do something else and make more money. So, like I said, let's put the pride aside, analyze what we're doing, see if it's not producing it. First of all, IRS doesn't let you report a loss over 3 years in a row anyway. 1, 2, 3, boom, you're going to get audited. That's how you lose money for 3 years. Continue to keep going. right? And for your people that have multiple businesses and some of them successful, and figure out ways. Maybe you can franchise them. Maybe you can pass them along, work out a deal, operate an agreement with a worker to get it to them, that they'll be motivated to help uplift it. But please, I want to see you guys keep failing. I want you to learn from your failures, just like I keep learning from my failures, and also realize when it's time to call it quits. Okay? So there's been many times that I had to be like, okay, this isn't making money, I'm losing money for this amount of time, that's it, right? And then go and then be making money from other places. So if I'm winning, so let's say the majority of startup businesses, 60% of them in 3 years close. That's a high number. It's more than 50%, more than half, right? So let's say if there's 100 businesses, that's 60 that closed in 3 years. So for us to look at it, you got to think positive. You got to plan. You got to be motivated to do it. But that should let us know also that we are going to fail, and we're going to learn from our failures. And then if you have another idea, you're naturally going to know what happened and what went wrong in that situation, right? If it's a restaurant, maybe you just did everything that everyone else did. You didn't have a different concept, and then maybe you can approach it in another light. But put aside pride, realize that it's not cool to be losing money 1, 2, 3 years in a row. And if you have to, figure out how to get out of that business, and then get into something else you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you have all these restaurants and different businesses if they're not producing and making money for you, making your life easier, smoother. A lot of times we look to have multiple income streams, right? But hard to do when you're like stuck in this business that's not producing money. So call it quits, okay? You gotta know when to call it quits. Gotta look at it, sit down, talk to family, be like, hey, I'm thinking about this, getting into this whole industry, this hasn't worked. And they're gonna give you some insight to what I'm saying as well. Again, you always have to be positive and upbeat. I'm not saying that at all, but you also have to be realistic. Okay, so the reality of it is some hard decisions need to be made, right? If you're losing money 3 years in a row and you're just getting loans out, getting more in debt, you have to sit back and look what you can do different. And if you find that you can't do anything different, you tried every remedy possible, then it's time to close that business, get out of it, and then take on another business. Many people have failed. So again, you guys can do your research after you talk to this. Look up Walt Disney, see his story. Look up Abraham Lincoln. Look at a gentleman that created Dyson. Look at all these people that have failed so many times. Number one, didn't give up. I'm not saying give up, but they went about it a different route, created different things, different ideas. So if we see this and if these people that did all these amazing things have failed, we only get better from failure. In sports, you lose, right? When you lose, while you're frustrated, you're aggravated, you can use that for motivation to win, right? So everyone loses, but the goal is to win, right? So it's a matter of always using that energy, turning that negativity, like, okay, I failed here, but I'm going to take this plan here. I'm done with this here. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to give it all, and I'm going to remember what I did wrong. I'm going to use that to motivate me, and I'm going to be successful, right? So don't misinterpret what I'm telling you. Sometimes you have to accept that this didn't work. I'm going to get out of this, and then you got to start in a whole other light and use that negativity for motivation, but naturally not do the same things, right? And learn from those mistakes and things you learned along the way and apply them to this new business venture that you're doing, okay? Thanks again for listening in, and again, if you didn't subscribe, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great day.